Vanishing of Lars Mittank, the most disturbing airport disappearance. Some disappearances have explanations, some leave behind clues, but some happen in broad daylight, in front of cameras, with no rational answer. Tonight, we explore the baffling case of Lars Mittank, one of the most disturbing disappearances ever recorded. Stay until the end, but be warned, this story may change the way you look at the world. A vacation that turned into a nightmare. The summer of 2014 was supposed to be one of fun, relaxation, and adventure for Lars Mittank, a 28-year-old German man. He had traveled to Golden Sands, Bulgaria with his friends for a budget-friendly getaway, a trip filled with beaches, cheap drinks, and endless parties. For the first few days, everything went according to plan. Lars and his friends spent their time bar hopping, swimming, and relaxing under the sun. By all accounts, he was happy, a social, fun-loving guy who was enjoying his time abroad. But something happened that would change the course of his life forever. A fight in the dark. On the 5th night of their vacation, Lars and his friends got into a minor argument with a group of German tourists at a local bar. The reason? It was an argument that should have ended there, a drunken disagreement over which team was better. But that night, after Lars left the bar alone, things took a darker turn. When he reunited with his friends the next morning, he told them he had been jumped by a group of men outside the bar. According to Lars, he was punched in the head and beaten. Even stranger, he said one of his attackers had been hired to beat him up. His friends were confused. Had Lars really been attacked? Or was his mind playing tricks on him? An injury that made no sense. Concerned, his friends urged him to see a doctor. Lars agreed, visiting a local medical clinic where he was examined by a Bulgarian doctor. The doctor's diagnosis: a ruptured eardrum, likely caused by a punch or a fall. Lars was prescribed a mild antibiotic called cefuroxime to prevent infection. He was advised not to fly home yet, as the pressure change could further damage his ear. It should have been a simple case of minor head trauma, but from that moment forward, Lars Mittank was never the same. The paranoia begins. As soon as he left the clinic, Lars's behavior changed. He refused to take the antibiotics, telling his friends they were bad for him. He became paranoid, whispering that the doctor was lying and that someone was watching him. He kept asking his friends, "Do you trust them?" Something was seriously wrong, but no one knew just how bad it was going to get. The decision that sealed his fate. Because of his ear injury, Lars was medically unfit to fly with his friends. The flight could have burst his eardrum. His friends offered to stay behind with him, but Lars insisted they leave without him. "I'll be fine," he told them. "I'll catch a flight in a few days." So, on July 7th, his friends boarded their plane. Lars was left alone in Bulgaria, the last night at the hotel. With nowhere else to go, Lars checked into Hotel Color, a small budget hotel near Varna Airport. That night, his paranoia intensified. He called his mother multiple times, whispering that people were following him. He told her not to trust anyone, not the hotel staff, not the doctor, not even his friends. He texted her asking about his antibiotic prescription, then suddenly changed his mind and said he wouldn't take them. At 3 a.m, something bizarre happened. Lars suddenly left the hotel, without his belongings. He disappeared into the night. Hours later, as the sun began to rise, he returned to the hotel, looking disheveled, confused, and deeply afraid. Then, he made his way to Varna Airport, and what happened next was caught on camera. The chilling airport footage. At 6 a.m, Lars arrived at Varna Airport. He was seen walking normally at first, carrying his backpack, waiting in line. But then, as he approached the airport medical office, something terrified him. He stood outside the door, staring at it for minutes. He peeked inside and backed away, shaking his head. Then, without warning, he turned and ran, in the final moments before he disappeared forever. In the footage, Lars sprints through the airport like a man running for his life. He drops his backpack. He dodges security. He runs straight through the airport exit into an open field. And then, he is gone. He ran toward the forest and disappeared. To this day, no one has ever seen him again. What happened to Lars Mittank? His disappearance has led to countless theories. Psychotic break? Did his head injury trigger sudden psychosis? Paranoia turned reality? Was someone actually following him? Forced disappearance? Did he run into a human trafficking ring or organ trade? And the biggest question of all, what scared him at the airport? And why did he run as if his life depended on it? The chilling questions that remain. Why did he suddenly leave his hotel in the middle of the night? What did he see at the airport that terrified him? How can someone run into an open field and never be seen again? Years later, hikers found bones near the airport, but DNA tests confirmed they were not Lars. His case remains one of Europe's most disturbing missing persons mysteries. In his final moments, running in terror from something unseen, remain a chilling reminder that some disappearances will never be explained. Some mysteries have answers, some vanish without a trace, but some remain caught on camera, frozen in time, with no explanation. What do you think happened to Lars Mittank? Let us know in the comments, and if you want more true crime and paranormal stories, be sure to like, subscribe, and join us next time. If you dare,